Osahin Alexander Afenyo Markin versus Samuel Edu Gyamfi and Multimedia Group Limited at the Accra High Court, and suit number GR/ACH/CC/C5/02/2026, entitled Osahin Alexander Afenyo Markin versus Eric Ejay and Peace FM at the Achimota Circuit Court. I have every confidence that in the fullness of time, the court will make the appropriate determination on these matters. I also await with bated breath that the man or the men who made the allegation will have the courage to report the matter to the police or the OSP or any investigating agency in this country. And I expect that if they muster the courage to report that I have extorted from them and I am invited, I shall submit myself to every investigation.
All right, so quick one, let's have a conversation. This is we need fast, because as I'm talking to you now, they saying the Parliament House, the Ghana Parliament House, one emergency meeting, and na menya baby kakrebia medebro, because I promised you say be a better form between Afenyo Markin and Sammy Gyamfi. I'm going to give it to you. Now, emergency meeting no ekoso Speaker of Parliament de nkomo tuja. We no friend minority leader said they also ne take wo mra mechire. In fact, onya this opportunity no, but finally we breaking silence concerning the extortion. Yes, we are extortionist. What to tungrofo what timi frau say, hey, wo why you dey we fisika bra anyesa mekwa kwacho ni ade. And then finally, Honorable Afenyo Markin was saying, "What breaking silence?" And I'm going to play that video to you, and it is less than 14 minutes. Was say, me tuwe, my ye mi wo misika, me wo me busunya ye neji ye hon. Entino, I dare Sammy Gyamfi, and this Eric Ejay. Say baby, I want was evidence no. And then post more oncophobia or more interest me Afenyo Markin makoto tumbotum and now made them comobisi a comuncha kodio musica. Wamomra na mi ankasa no me see wamo. That is what Ghanaians want. That is what I sitting here. That is what I was calling for. And I think this is a very good step. Yeah, it is going to help NPP if the air cost one say finally Honorable Afenyo Markin edino ehutonu. That's a nyanokura. It is going to be very good. This is what we want. Also, we see Sammy Gyamfi, Samuel Edu Gyamfi, popularly known as Sammy Gyamfi. We see no, and then they are saying radio station or Kotina say Ekoki Kansam. We see one we in was saying SU1 Eric Ejay. We see one also any OKFM to Peace FM so. We see one. Say baby a branch and kwatina ko dis hankomo no wono mo nkoyi omho ano baby a wono mo hunu say ono Afenyo Markin no wo extorting crofo no wono mo. In fact ne buafu na wo hwe them atmosphere e wo Parliament House no a wono say the man is very angry. Watch this video.
In the face of the allegations of extortion leveled against me, I have chosen to take high moral ground by submitting myself to the processes of the law. I have accordingly caused writs to be filed in suit number GT 1029/2026, entitled Osahin Alexander Afenyo Markin versus Samuel Edu Gyamfi and Multimedia Group Limited at the Accra High Court, and suit number GR/ACH/CC/C5/02/2026, entitled Osahin Alexander Afenyo Markin versus Eric Ejay and Peace FM at the Achimota Circuit Court. I have every confidence that in the fullness of time, the court will make the appropriate determination on these matters. Mr. Speaker, I also await with bated breath that the man or the men who made the allegation will have the courage to report the matter to the police or the OSP or any investigating agency in this country. And I expect that if they muster the courage to report that I have extorted from them and I am invited, I shall submit myself to every investigation so that eventually my name is cleared. There is, Mr. Speaker, there is a limit to political discourse. There are lines that must not be crossed, and these red lines, once crossed, they must be dealt with. Mr. Speaker, I can modestly and humbly say that I have served in this position with integrity. I came into this office a man of hard work with determination, and I have achieved for myself what I have to do for myself, my family, and my constituents. Mr. Speaker, I work with clear conscience and with fidelity to the responsibilities entrusted to me. I say so without more. Mr. Speaker, let me now turn to the issue of power in our country. Speaker, our nation was left in darkness. As if that was not enough, we must also draw the House's attention to the general state of power supply in our country. We ask that it be made a pivotal part of our deliberation this week. In the space of 1 month, Ghana has twice been plunged into total darkness. Gridco called it both times, quote, power system disturbances, end quote. The first was on the 29th of July. The second struck barely 3 weeks later at the dawn of 20th of August, when a fault on the Akosombo water line tripped our generating units and left homes, hospitals, and businesses across this country without power for the better part of a day. Mr. Speaker, Ghanaians have received nothing beyond tear statements announcing the outage, and hours or days later, tear statement announcing its restoration. This was not the power sector Akufo-Addo and Bawumia government handed over in January 2025. In an age when a nation's electricity grid is rightly treated as core national security infrastructure, this House cannot allow such statement to substitute for real answers. We therefore give notice, in accordance with the rota provisions of Order 216-2D of our standing orders, of our intention to push that the Minister for Energy and Green Transition to appear before this House to account fully for the state of our power sector, and or that a probe be opened into causes of these outages. Speaker, we will not allow these matters to be swept under the carpet by press statements. Ghanaians deserve to know why the lights keep going out and what is being done to make sure that they do not go out again. Speaker, permit me to turn to the issue of weaponization of justice. While this government displays its inability in managing our treasury on the grid and elsewhere, there's one department in which it has shown troubling efficiency: the weaponization of our prosecutorial machinery against members of this caucus and in general former appointees of Akufo-Addo. We have watched that machinery deployed against our compatriots, including the Ashanti regional chairman of our party, Enchibwe Siakun, popularly known as Wuntumi. We have watched most recently a controversial warrant from the Chief Justice compelling the speedy prosecution of our members during judicial vacation, a period that has traditionally offered judges, lawyers, and litigants alike a season of rest. This matter, through the effort of one of our colleagues, Honorable Kojo Opon-Kroma of Ofuasi Ayirbi, is now before the Supreme Court for the appropriate legal redress. Speaker, the minority would want to be plain. This is a government that in its first month in office filed nolle prosequa after nolle prosequa to discontinue criminal cases against its own members, sympathizers, cronies, and assigns, while lining up its opponent before the court. We are clear on our minds what that pattern means. It is not pursuit of justice. It is an attempt to terrorize this minority into submission, one investigative summons at a time. Now our resolve, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, let me be equally plain in response. No matter how far this government goes to suffocate the rule of law in an attempt to weaken this minority's resolve, we will not bend the knee. We are fortified by the veritable words of the 26th President of the United States, Theodore Roosevelt, who on the 23rd April 1910 delivered an address at the Sorbonne in Paris titled Citizenship in a Republic during his post-presidential tour of Europe. And he said, and I quote, "It is not a critic who counts, not a man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails whilst daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat." End quote. Speaker, we in the minority know that the task ahead of us is difficult. We do not stand here pretending otherwise. The road before us is long, it is steep, it is strewn with obstacles and deliberately laid in our path. But difficulty has never been a reason for surrender. It will not become one now. We will rather be counted among those who dare greatly and stumble in a worthy cause than among the cold and timid souls who never know victory nor defeat. For however hard the struggle and however heavy the odds, this minority is resolved to remain in the arena, faces marred by dust and sweat, striving valiantly for the rule of law, for our democracy, and for the good people of Ghana, who are honored to serve. Mr. Speaker, the people of Ghana sent us into this chamber to protect their interests without fear and to hold this government to account on every inch of executive decision it takes. We intend to keep that mandate without fear, without favor, and without apology. We will not be weighed down by threats, by bogus prosecution, by intimidation, or by frivolous accusation, whether directed at any one of us in this chamber or at any member of our party. For as long as we have life, for as long as we have good health, for as long as we remain members of this house, we will expose what we see as wrong and insist on what is right. Mr. Speaker, on the cocoa sector, let me commend the efforts for reforms by the Cocoa Board. However, the reforms being pursued, we the minority have identified some gaps. A law was passed. We hold a view that there wasn't sufficient consultations and that there should be further consultation regarding the concerns of the LBCs that were turned down by this government. Haulage or transport owners were not also properly consulted. We have also noted that farmers are now being required to seek permission from government before repurposing their farms. Farmers cannot even undertake routine, genuine actions without recourse to government. Mr. Speaker, farmers cannot sell their cocoa unless they are registered. This has never happened in the history of our country. Mr. Speaker, we call on the majority to reconsider these concerns and come before this house with a motion for rescission so that we can further deliberate on this matter and make input to enrich the bill before Mr. President signs. Mr. Speaker, this House should know that the two items we have given notice of today on the gold bar losses and the other power outages are only the beginning of clear paths in ensuring this government is held to account. Many more such efforts already in motion and will find full expression in this chamber in the weeks and months ahead. We do not intend to let a single matter of accountability rest, for it is said that he who comes to equity must do equity. In closing, Mr. Speaker, let me once again welcome all colleagues back into this emergency meeting. We did not ask to be recalled under these circumstances. No nation should have to be, but Ghana finds itself here, and history will record what this House chooses to do with this moment. It will record whether we looked away from nearly 22 billion Ghana cedis or whether we demanded every cedi to be accounted for. It will record whether we accepted their statement about a darkened nation or whether we demanded the light be restored and kept. It will record whether we allowed the machinery of justice to be turned into a weapon of political fear or whether we stood unbending in its way. Speaker, this minority knows which record it intends to leave. It is our hope that in all our dealings this week and in every week that follows, we will be guided by nothing less than the ultimate well-being and the interests of the Ghanaian people, to whom this House and every seat in it truly belongs. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for this treasure space.
You see, and I repeat, this is what we want as a country. Because entimi mase say obi play diversional tactics. Na what the obi din na what they be say no. Oh yes, Bank of Ghana any gold board aboka 1.7 billion, which is equivalent to 22 billion Ghana cedis. And you know, okay, if we want to divert attention, if we want to divert attention, say, quick one, we know enkasa bebre, siuni pakro, then we are going to know the truth. This is what I was calling for in my first video. This is what I think Ghanaians are calling for. And this is exactly what the New Patriotic Party are calling for. Because you can't just tarnish someone's image because it didn't say, oh, hey, ya papa. And mind you, say all these things and now so every nipa back open into secret do was saying and I want to be anti stopping. Men a medical characters say don't be surprised because whenever this particular government or person or diverting for attention everywhere. We were once talking about gold board aboka. And what any general and when he didn't come, where is the 22 billion Ghana cedis? Sasi kano oh, all of a sudden now betum Afenyo Markin were extortionist. Where you say, and to feed your gold board loss and no every so now the diversionary tactics operate and now Ghanaians are rather focusing on Afenyo Markin were extortionist. And when him, me Ghana, me parliamentary on page no so. May record the video no. O share the NDC bloggers. Masa, and I'm asking myself, say, NPP bloggers, where are they? NPP communicators, where are they? In fact, you may know the NPP communicators. This is something they should have. Oh, don't wait for us. Say, yeah, record it. The communicators more and I was more record this videos we because honorable Afenyo Markin wakasa before so nanka more interview and nanka Ghana phone said no, that thing is not true. NPP communicators, change your ways of communicating. Don't sometimes don't go and sit there verbally speak like mamun kokasa sa go with a proof say nipa no idea examination no was work court and think I would do one no kuta pen drive Mr. Mumbo video in my na yenti ni pokrom. Mamun try say young kofa mred into say ye once way. As I'm talking to you now, Parliament your life. Parliament your life as I'm talking to you now. So extortionist, what is the meaning of that? Where from this? And into that in a yenti wasam ye nya hwe afi ye dwene gold board sika bank of na me busa wo. The question I always ask is a car a war mine mu ye ntimi dwen ye. As I'm talking to you now, a bibe started 2050 something, 2060 something, 2070 something. A car Ghana ye tua. And no a bibe started 2030 something, 2040 something. And then the model so implemented different and nyoma. Edeba o mine mu. Good body we no yes say efri. Sisi awunim NDC besa akọ obefri aban mu na gold board ne ka no asan ba be ka Ghana fo ka ho na yesan ba bura no so na afi ye ba betua no so enti aban obeba no so ba betua gold board so na no so de ka foforo de ba enti Ghana as a country, where exactly are we going? Gold board, what is gold board? The German is saying enti without gold board Ghana can never operate. Enti I was say yeah the gold board ever. But me busa say before a gold board ebeba no enti ne ye ni baby anti ye Ghana sika sika kono na efa na wonum de see after this gold board me say what the opa hade fa say baby a gold board say afi de ate se ka eba ho honorable Afenyo or saying Sammy Gyamfi ankasa kura no be kan though there are lost was it losses bi wo ho enti no losses bi wo ho dia and ye hwa de after NDC ebefri aban mu no obetia ne say gold board NDC kono e ka na de gold board ni mefa chawo enti gold board nso beboka ade ato na wokọ ana ye benya mfaso na wokọ enti gold board bekono ye beka say gold board ye wo mfaso sei ana say ye woka sei minim same nkoma wate ase bia initiatives we no enti kakra no ye wo ne ntimi mo ho ban you obeko ye beko akohwem na gold board after NDC tenure of office no nanka omonso nanka omama ye mfaso but ye beko mo still na ekada ho the kabi ye best start every baby and sha same tutuai but eno so broba. But I like the step honorable Afenyo Markin taking because it been say hey ya extortionist ati bottom nipa enti mo fa atade hye na mo kwatena parliament na mo to bottom. No, we shouldn't tolerate this. This is something that was honorable Afenyo Markin. Even the OSP Kurano and Frenwa also one kasa himself should take a legal action against this motion. Sa kasa we no, I was also taking legal action because you are a lawyer by yourself. Sue no. Ono mo amukodi sa nkomo no, sue them because it didn't say hey ya. And I've been telling you this, mind you, we young people here, mind you, say, who opposition. And in some be say, if you don't clear yourself, one clear when you win from a papa, what does what your opposition? Now, what your opposition granted, there's someone to so I want to me you one. Now, I do 2028, I got to about. That's a one nimkasa, one timing so I like the step honorable Afenyo Markin are taking. It's a very good step. It is going to help him. It is going to help Ghana. It is going to help his party. I as Smart African Media, I told you earlier, say, well, to be sincere with you, to have everything right. Say, ubenya and come on, you're going to understand everything. Explanation and crowforma we ban no the person himself in the case in this issue near Afenyo Markin, he should rather take a bold decision. You know what taking, and I've brought you the video. I was recording. In fact, why okay not me record it? Okay, not me record it because I have interest in this. Yes. You certainly have an opinion to make in the comment section. What I want subscribe to YouTube channel, like na share my for one with teaching the bench. Midi, Edward Mankuba and Macro.